Morning, everyone from New Haven, Connecticut. We're gonna wait a few seconds as you log into this webinar. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us. You're either working or on vacation. This is the summer months, and especially in parts of the world, people in August stop. So we really appreciate you taking the time today to meet with us. My name is Camino de Paz. I am the Assistant Dean of Global Network Programs at Yale School of Management. And part of my portfolio is overseeing admissions for 2-degree programs, the Master of Advanced Management, which is the program we're going to be talking about today, and the Master in Global Business and Society, which is another degree post Masters in Management. I am not alone here today. I am with my colleague, Matthew Lassans, who's going to be sharing the presentation with me and with our colleague, Elena Heath, who is behind the scenes. Thank you, Elena, helping us run this webinar smoothly. Matt, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name's Matt Lassance. I'm the Assistant Director for Admissions. I'm excited to be here with everyone and get to talk a little bit more about the MAM program and hopefully answer some of your big questions. So I look forward to talking a little bit more. And I'll let Camino kick it off.
Thank you, Matt. Well, before we even start, I just want to let you all know that we will be taking questions at the end. So please feel free to put any questions that you may have in the Q&A feature of Zoom. And also, thank you to those of you who pre-submitted some questions. I have them in front of me. So also at the end, we will be addressing some of the questions that you pre-submitted when you register for the event. Also, Elena, please, can you put on the chat the brochure for this program? Everything is on our website, and the brochure is now currently being updated, but you have the version from last year in case you want to download it and see a little bit more of information about our program. Again, all the information is on the website, and we're going to cover most of it in our presentation today as well. Okay. So what is the MAM program? The Master of Advanced Management is a 1-year degree program that is customized by you, choosing the courses that you want to take. My colleague Matt is going to go deeper into the curriculum later, but basically there are only 2 courses that are required, and the rest you decide. You have total saying what is it that you want to study to complement your MBA degree. Because I just want to emphasize this. You do need to have an MBA in order to apply and get admitted into the MAM. The MBA is a prerequisite for the MAM. If you decide to come to Yale MAM, you would join a community of purpose. We're a mission-driven school. I'm going to be talking about our mission in a second. And so we are looking for people who really resonate with this mission and are willing to help us advance it and move it forward. You have a breadth of clubs, events, speakers. We are halfway between Boston and New York. And so a lot of high-profile individuals and alumni who are in between the 2 cities stop in New Haven. We do have a train that connects the cities, and that has a stop in New Haven. So there is always something going on campus, either at the School of Management or at Yale University at large. And so that's it. It's part of the reason why this is a full-time program. You have to not be working. It's a full-time, very intense program that, again, it's 9 months. We kick it off in mid-August. We actually started yesterday for the incoming class, and they graduate in mid-May. So very intense 1-year program. And then you will also benefit from the Yale University Network. You will become one of our alumni, and we'll have all the benefits of our alumni and our network on top of the network of the school that you have done your MBA at. So why should somebody consider pursuing the MAM? The first thing that I want to say is that this is not a program for everyone, right? You are studying or considering to study, or maybe recently graduated from an MBA degree at a top school in the world, and you are perfectly ready to go back to the workforce and continue with your career. So we fully understand that this is not for everyone. But if you would like to go deeper in a specific area that you didn't have the opportunity during your MBA, given the general management nature of the program, that is something that you can do here. You want to go and specialize in fintech, nonprofit, or behavioral science of management, for example. That is one of our expertises. That is something that you can come and then customize your curriculum to take as many classes as possible in that particular niche and become an expert. Or you want to go broader. You want to actually expand your knowledge beyond management. That is also something that you can do here. We do see a lot of students taking classes at the School of the Environment. They want to, go deeper into sustainability issues and the environment, and they do that. Or also a lot of students take classes at the Jackson School of Global Affairs, right? They want to expand their knowledge and learn about the geopolitical problems of the world, or international trade, or all those kind of things that affect the world and the global affairs, state of the world, and that's what they do. Or you can take classes at the School of Drama, the School of Art. I always recommend students to take at least one class that is for yourself, right? Something that makes you happy, and it's something that has nothing to do with whatever you want to do next. It's just something for personal growth. And I think that's something very fulfilling. And the students that listen to me, they always come back and say, I'm so glad I took this class. That has nothing to do with anything, but made me really happy, and I learned so much from it. So we do have partnerships and collaborations with quite a few schools. You see them all on this slide. And so if you are doing or are considering doing a program at any of these schools, on the slide, Agate, NUS, Asian Institute of Management, AIM, Renmin, Fudang, Aitatsubashi, ICS, IE Business School, UBC Southern, Inkai, SDA Bocconi, HKUST or ATC Paris. We do have concurrent degrees with these institutions, meaning that you can fulfill the 2 degrees, MBA plus MAM, in less time than what it would take you if you were to do the 2 degrees separately. So something to consider if you are still in the process of deciding where to go for your MBA, or if you are currently starting the program at any of these institutions and you are interested in the MAM, this is definitely something that you need to talk to your school about, or reach out to us so that we connect you with the right person to see how you could benefit from, these concurrent degrees. So if you decide to pursue this route, you would get obviously 2 degrees, 2 brands, 2 countries, 2 networks, and everything in 2 years, which is very convenient. So I did mention before our mission, and this is the slide where I'm going to be talking about it. So we're a mission-driven school. Our mission is to educate leaders for business and society. And this is something that everybody at the school knows, and we all strive to work to advance our mission. From the person that welcomes you in the front desk, all the way to the dean, everybody knows that we educate leaders for business and society. So as you consider the MAM, and as you consider putting together a strong application for our program, this should be at the center of it, right? We are going to be looking for people that connect with our mission, that really will help us advance the mission. So please, when you write your essays, when you, if you have the opportunity to interview with one of us, make sure that you let us know how you want to do business for society, like just for the purpose of business, right? Every single business school in the world educate leaders for business. We also do it for society. So we want to see what kind of impact either you've made or you were planning to make in the world. So I'm already giving you a hint in case you apply of something that we're going to be looking very carefully at. And then when you arrive, our community is very much immersed in this mission. So it will be present in the curriculum, in the classes, in the extracurricular, in the clubs. And also you will see that our students in general are very mission driven. And so you're going to be surrounded by individuals that really, really want to fulfill this mission. So who else will be on campus while you are a Master of Advanced Management student. So you will not be alone. And we want to put up here all the programs that we have on campus. So around 1,000 students in general, and we have a 2-year MBA. And you will be seeing the students a lot. Probably the ones you're going to be interacting with the most, especially our second-year MBAs. You will be taking a lot of classes with our second-year MBAs. Then we have our MBA for executives. On the contrary, these are the students you're going to probably see the least. They come to campus every other weekend. They're working. And again, it's a 2-year degree program, but they are on campus when you're not. You might see them in some of the clubs or the talks or the speakers that we have, but for the most part, you will not be interacting with them in class. Then it's you, our Master of Advanced Management students, and it's, again, a 1-year degree program post-MBA. And then we have our family of Master in Management Studies, which tend to be, for the most part, younger students, but not in all cases. So we have asset management, we have systemic risk. This population is a little bit older. These are people that work for central banks and come to us for a year to then return to the banks. Then we have our Master in Global Business and Society, the program that I mentioned before. We also run admissions for that degree program, and this is a post-master management program. Then we have technology management. This is a very small cohort of post-Yale College engineers that come to us for an additional year to learn about management. And then we have, through our broad center, the Public Education Management Master Program. Lastly, we have our PhD students, and they are going to be interacting with you probably in the class. They are going to be, in many cases, teaching assistants for our professors. They're going to be hosting office hours, and that is the way you're going to be probably interacting with our PhD students. We're very proud to call ourselves one SOM. So while you will be belonging to the Master of Advanced Management cohort, you are going to be interacting with the whole community. So this is something that I think is pretty unique to SOM. In other schools, you are siloed by program, and here that is not the case. You're going to be interacting as much with students from other degree programs as with your fellow MAM students. I'm going to hand it over to Matt now, who is going to talk a little bit about the curriculum that I said is customizable, but how do you do that, Matt?
Thanks, Camino. So yes, let's talk about the curriculum and kind of customizing it. So, as we were talking about, it's a very flexible program. There are only 2 required courses, and those are going to be your topics in advanced management for business and society and a global leadership course. And you're going to see those in sort of that lighter blue color on your wheel down below. That's 4 units out of your 40 units. So you still have 36 units that you can really do whatever you want with. And this is where it gets really fun, really exciting. And as Camino mentioned, students have a lot of breadth and a lot of depth opportunities. So at SOM alone, you have the opportunity to choose from more than 170 elective courses just at the School of Management. It's unbelievable to see all the different varieties, whether it be marketing, finance, more towards accounting, technology, all the different directions you're able to go just at SOM alone. It's really unbelievable. And it's something that I think a lot of our students do take advantage of, as they do probably take a good number of their elective courses in sort of the home base of SOM. With that, though, as Camino mentioned, you have the opportunity to go and learn from other leading professors across Yale. So we have 12 other professional schools in the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences that you can go and take courses at. Now, with that, it allows you to really create that flexible curriculum and kind of make your tool belt your best asset as you look to jump into that next professional setting. So, as Camino mentioned, maybe you want to dive into sustainability and some of that sort of stuff. So, you go take classes at School of the Environment. Maybe you want to take a law school class or some classes in, politics and global affairs at Jackson School for Global Affairs. Maybe you have a passion for healthcare and that sort of thing. You can definitely go take classes and learn a little bit more about business and healthcare. You really have the opportunity to develop a curriculum that is perfect for you, which is something that we found often students don't have the opportunity to do. One other thing that is really important or is a great opportunity for some of our students who are STEM or science, technology, engineering, and I believe it's mathematics interested is the management science major. So as mentioned, you're going to see your wheel below, and you still have your light blue courses, which are, the global business and your topics in management. But with this, you would take 16 credit units of eligible STEM courses per se. So there are 26 elective options at the moment. Some of those include sports analytics, AI for business decisions, game theory, big data. And as you can see, a lot of different areas of interest that you can kind of dive into with this. And again, keep it in line with what your vision or long-term goals are. So it's a great opportunity for that person that's interested in STEM and is looking to pursue a STEM career after. Now, what does that kind of add to, and why would somebody be interested in this? Well, obviously, if you're interested in STEM, interested in entering that field, it's a great asset for you. It gives you that advantage to kind of dive into some of those courses, really prep yourself to make that leap if maybe you haven't had as much STEM experience in the past. One of the other things that many of our students like the opportunity is normally you get 1 year of OPT upon graduation or optional practical training. With this major attached to your degree, you would be potentially eligible for an additional 2 year STEM extension. With that, 3 years of potential work permission in the US is really nice. One thing that I do want to note, it is not guaranteed. This is sort of the first step in the process and, starts opening the door for you, but does not, make it wide open. You do need to go through a process. This should not be, something that you're looking at saying, oh, I'm going to get 3 years of work extension. I'm going to be able to work in the US. This is just going to happen. It's not something that can be guaranteed, and I do want to make that, very clear to everyone up front. So as we're looking at all these classes and all the things you can do, I think a lot of students can get overwhelmed. You see 170 electives at SOM. You see, I believe it's well over 1,000 courses across Yale to choose from. What does your schedule actually look like? And so we broke down one of our students' schedules a little bit, and hopefully this will help you see what does a week look like. So in blue, again, you're going to see your courses. You're going to see, maybe you're taking courses 2 times a week. Maybe you're taking the course just 1 time a week. As you can see, if you're taking a course 1 day a week, it's going to be a little bit longer, usually about 3 hours. If you're taking the class twice a week, it usually is about an hour to an hour and a half, and you'll meet either Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, something like that. As you can see, we don't have classes on Friday. So that's where the career portion of the curriculum comes in. Our career development office is fantastic. We'll talk about them in a minute. But you're going to see different workshops, different opportunities to meet with the career development team. Maybe you're going through interviews, as you can see on Friday afternoon. So there's a lot of different things that the career development office puts together and tries to set up for our students so that they're able to really dive into that recruiting side of it and be set up for success on the back end. And that's why Fridays are usually open. We allow that as sort of a career development or recruiting day for students. You're also going to see meetings. Oh, sorry. Maybe you're having a meeting with a professor or a group meeting. We love getting all of our students into groups and kind of pairing you off to work on things. So a lot of different opportunities. Maybe you have a club meeting on Wednesday afternoons. We'll dive into clubs in a minute as well. There's a lot of really cool ones. And then, of course, making sure you have time for yourself. This student, they did yoga in the mornings on Tuesday and Thursday. Obviously, you got to have lunch, make sure that, you're fueled up for the rest of your day. And then, of course, I think this is always important. I think it's a great opportunity if you have it. Take in a play at the repertory. Maybe go to a museum and check things out. Go to some of the sports games. Or what our students really do enjoy, and it's something, especially with our MAM cohort, they really enjoyed getting together and just getting to know each other. They are from all over the world. I think this past year we had 40 students from, I think it was 22 or 24 different citizenships around the world. And it's really cool that you get to have a year with these people and really get to know them, learn about their culture, learn about their history, their experiences. And I think that's something that really adds to that global mindset and global experience here at Yale, but especially in the MAM program. As we're talking about that, just to give you a little idea of the academic calendar for this current class. So everybody was supposed to be here yesterday on August 11th, 2025 to kick off the program, start orientation. And then we have classes starting in about 2 weeks on August 27th. Then we have a couple different breaks in there. We have our Global Network Week and break on October 13th to the 17th. And that's definitely something, if you have the opportunity to do a Global Network Week, super fun. You get to travel a little bit around the world and learn from other leading professors across the globe. We have our November recess, which is right around Thanksgiving. We'll talk about Friendsgiving, which is a really cool thing that Yale SOM does. And then, of course, you have the winter recess. So you get to go home, enjoy a little time with family, friends, relax, and then you come back for the spring semester or spring term to kick off on January 12th. March 9th through the 20th, we have another Global Network Week, and an opportunity to kind of go on spring break, take a little breather. And then, really, not too long after that, about 2 months, we have commencement on May 18th this upcoming year. So it really flies by. As much as it's a 1 year program, it's more like 9 months and it goes by very quickly. So, what did our class look like? As I mentioned, we haven't totally gotten the numbers on this year's class, and we want to make sure we get everybody in. But we had 40 MBA graduates representing 24 different MBA schools across the globe. Their average work experience was about 7 years, and they averaged an age at about 31 years old. And I want to let people know that age, we had some people in their mid to late 20s. We had some people in their late 30s, I believe into their 40s this past year. And I know we've had people even older than that that we're looking to make a pivot in their career. We're looking to go back and gain more knowledge in a particular area and kind of add to their tool belt. It's something that just because you see that number, don't look at it as, oh, well, I have less than 7 years or, oh, I have more than 7 years of experience. I'm, 28 or I'm 40. Is this right for me? There's a great opportunity here for you to take advantage of. You just have to, reach out to us, let us know, that you might be interested. We can certainly talk with you and kind of help guide you a little bit. And then I think some fun facts that are really cool. We love seeing 45% women joining our class. We love seeing that close to 50-50. And then on top of that, I think this is always really neat. 98% of our students are international passport holders. And it's really crazy the places they've traveled. They've been all over the world and they are just a well-traveled bunch, which is really, really neat. And they come from 22 different countries of citizenship, as I mentioned. And I think it just goes to show, 40 MBA stu or 40 students in this MAM cohort from 22 different countries around the world. Almost every other person you're going to bump into is from somewhere else, really, which is really, really unique. So as we're kind of diving into this, I know I've talked a little bit about the community and opportunities to engage with the community. And so a number of different things are going on throughout the year. We have our speaker series. We've had people like Stella McCartney, Janet Yellen who's the Secretary of the Treasury. We've had the president of, I believe it was Ghana that came and spoke with some of our students. It's unbelievable the speakers that they're able to get to come, but also that want to come to Yale and speak with our students. One thing too with that I think is really amazing, Yale loves to be at the forefront, and I believe especially at SOM, we love to be at the forefront of the discussion. And so all of the big topics around the world that are happening, we try to bring people in to discuss those topics, have, that discussion that may be a little tense, but we want to have those discussions so we can figure out how to continue to better the world and better things for the future. With that, we also have a lot of really fun events as well that you can definitely get out, laugh, have a good time. The Yale Harvard football game being one of the big ones. I know there are also great times, as I mentioned, around Thanksgiving time. We have Friendsgiving, which is a great opportunity. SOM puts on a big lunch for everyone to kind of come. You get to meet faculty, staff, other students, really just sit down, have a meal, and no pressure or anything. It's just a great opportunity to get to know people on a little bit more personal level, which is really, really cool. SOM events, as I mentioned, Friendsgiving fits in, Fempire or a female empowerment event. which talks, with female leaders across all different industries. It's a really fun event, really cool to see the people that they bring out and everything they do for that type of, opportunity. We've got tons of different conferences from AI, sustainability, philanthropy. All different conferences are going on, so definitely keep your eyes open. If there's a topic you're interested in, they probably have a conference for you. The SOM Talent Show, really crazy to see some of the talents that our students have. I think usually at the end of the year, we have our students walk down the street with a bagpiper playing, and turned out one of our students' talent that was kind of hidden is that they were a bagpiper. So it was really cool to see that. And I believe they joined in at the end of the year and got to do the walk down and play the bagpipes. It was just a really, really cool event. And that was something that kind of came through during one of the talent shows. And then again, the club fair. I think this is the big event, or the main event every year. Tons and tons of different clubs, not just at SOM, but across Yale to take advantage of. Um, and I think this is something I try to tell people, look into the clubs as you're looking in the application process, because as much as we love to hear about the classes you're interested in, we also want to know about the extracurriculars that you're interested in. We want to hear, I'm interested in, consulting and I really want to join the consulting club or, the sustainability club, the technology club. We want to hear about those professional clubs. We also love hearing about, I'm a very passionate, I just learned about, apparently we have a diving club that has been started up and we've got like 5 or 6 students that are, I believe, certified divers. And so that's become a really big thing. We love to hear about what you're passionate about, your interest, because it allows us to get to know you a little bit better through this application process. So take the time to look into clubs, find out what you're interested in, what's available to students, and let us know through your application about all of these great things that hopefully you're going to take advantage of or get involved with during your time at Yale. And one other piece I think that is really, really unique to Yale is just the campus itself. Well over 200 years of history that you can find, and it's unbelievable. I think the libraries are probably one of the highlights that most students will tell you about. So as you can see, we've got the Beinecke Rare Book and Manuscript Library there. It's an unbelievable place. The history and artifacts and everything they have in there. I believe we've got almost 2 million different documents, manuscripts, artifacts. It's a place that everyone needs to check out. Even if you just come visit Yale, that's a place that I would highly recommend stopping. The Yale Art Gallery, another beautiful spot, a lot of different works of art from all across the globe. And I believe they actually have one of the largest coin collections. I learned from one of our applicants this past year that they have one of the largest coin collections, if not the largest, among colleges and universities. The Yale Farm, really cool spot to one, relax and kind of hang out, but also a lot of different farming things going on. You're able to see fruits, vegetables, pick some, all of that cool stuff. It's a great spot to hang out, relax with friends. And then as we're kind of talking again, the library, Sterling Memorial Library, highly recommend looking at the Law School Library, Divinity School Library, really, really beautiful places across campus. And then I don't think you can beat the Yale courtyard, especially in the fall and spring. You're going to see tons of students out there studying, having picnics, relaxing with friends. It's a great spot to hang out. And this is just some of Yale's charm, really. So, as we kind of talked a little bit, the CDO works with our students throughout the week and throughout the term, but they really do a lot for our students. So, the career resources, they kick off with uh, reaching out to all students in usually June or July of the year you're planning on coming to SOM. They start reaching out, sharing, resume tips, cover letter tips, all of these different things and start working with you over the summer so that when you arrive on campus for orientation, you can really start hit the ground running. Once you get here, they are going to have workshops galore, and usually most of them are on Fridays, sometimes other days, but Fridays are the big day, and they may have workshops on telling your story, writing, your resume or cover letters, best interview practices. All of those sorts of things are going to be happening. You can also set up one-on-one sessions with them to go through mock interviews, to really work directly with them and talk about, what you're looking for in your future employer. They've got a lot of great on-campus recruiting opportunities, whether it be mock interviews, different mixers and things like that to get to know other recruiters. They bring recruiters onto campus and host them even. We've also got, of course, an employment database and designated career support for, different industries and specifics that you're kind of looking for. So definitely something I highly recommend you talk to them, reach out to them, connect with them if you're an enrolled student or if you're coming to campus, because they are going to be a great resource for you. And some of the big industries this past year were technology, government, consulting, finance, manufacturing. And our students really went on to global careers in those industries. As you can see, BCG, Google, McKinsey, Microsoft, Amazon. And they aren't just ending up in the US, they're ending up in Europe, Asia, Africa, South America. I believe we had one that went towards Australia. So they really end up all across the globe. And that's something that I think is really, really amazing about this cohort is not just that they're global students, but they want to be really global ambassadors and global employees or stewards as they look for their future careers. And with that, I'll hand it back over to Kamina to talk a little bit more about the application pathways and application process.
Thank you, Matt. So hopefully by now you have a full understanding of the program, and hopefully you are ready to consider applying to the program. So now I'm gonna be covering that part. If you want to be part of this community, how do you get here, right? So there are different pathways to apply. And we also want to see what is the right time to apply for you, right? You could be, as I was mentioning before, you could be thinking about applying for an MBA program, or currently enrolled in an MBA program, or recently graduated from an MBA program. So assuming you're considering applying to an MBA program, I did present before the schools with which we have concurrent degrees. So that could be an option for you. Look at MBAs in those schools, and then see how you can concurrently then transition into the MAM in less time that it would take you to do the 2 degrees. We also have partnerships with 2 schools, which are, let's see if they show up here, HEC Paris and UBC Southern. Well, you can apply to both programs before joining the MBA there. So you can know whether you've been admitted into the MAM at the same time as you know, or you find out whether you get admitted into these 2 schools. With the concurrent degrees, you have to be enrolled in the school, number 1 for your MBA before applying to the MAM. This is a step before. You can apply to those schools before entering the MBA, and concurrently apply to us as well. Stay tuned if this is something that you would potentially be interested in, because we're signing agreements with a few other schools. We are finalizing the MOUs and the press releases, so I can't disclose what schools are those, but we are going to be increasing these partnerships with other schools. So this is, again, if you haven't started your MBA, you are still in the process of considering the MBA. Second part is, if you are currently enrolled in an MBA, you do have to fill out our MAM application while you are in your program, or when you have recently graduated from your program, and continue the regular route with the dates that I'm gonna be presenting in a second. If you have recently graduated from an MBA program, we always get a question about, how long ago is it good for me to have graduated from an MBA and then apply to the MAM? So we're going to look at that in a case-by-case basis. We usually say recently graduated students, reason being because you need the core of the MBA fresh in order to make the most out of the MAM and successfully complete the courses, right? You're gonna be joining our second-year MBAs. They've done the core in year 1. They come for the second year and be in class with you. Take me as an example. I did my MBA back in the day, 1999. If I were to join the MAM, now I would be in deep trouble. Why? Because I haven't used those skills and those learnings from my MBA in so many years. So of course, there are people that have been working and using all, the business concepts and the business tools, but all those things have also been updated and changed. So you know yourself best, so make sure that you apply when you think that you're ready, because sometimes people think that the difficult part is getting into the program, but actually, the program is demanding, so you have to be ready to be challenged. Okay. So what does the application look like, right? This is the process. So these are the requirements. We're gonna ask you for the transcripts from all your academic journey, from your college transcripts to your MBA. If you have graduated, please submit your full transcript. If you are currently enrolled in the program, please submit whatever you have up the point of submitting your application. It can be the first term, second term, whatever it is. And if you haven't even started your MBA, obviously you can't submit anything from your MBA, but if we admit you into the program, that admission would be conditional to successfully completing the MBA, obviously. Then we need a resume. In the resume, you need to list all your, obviously, academic background, but also your professional experience and your extracurriculars or activities that you've done beyond work. When you list your professional experience, please make sure it's only paid work. And if it's an internship, it has to be a paid internship. If it's some kind of unpaid activities, please list them in extracurricular. We are going to have a background check of all our admitted candidates into the program. And so you want to be very transparent and make sure that you list the things the right way, because then our background check company is gonna make sure that everything matches and everything basically meets our requirements. Then we do request a GMAT or GRE test score, and this is for everyone. There is no waiver. You do have to submit a GMAT or GRE test score. If you've taken a different test to access your MBA, we still require a GMAT or GRE. The question we always get is, what is the minimum score? What is the average score? We don't have a minimum, and we usually don't give average scores because our process is holistic, right? We look at whole individual and not just at one data point, which will be the test. Let me give you an example. If somebody is very strong academically and submits very strong transcripts, and the GMAT or GRE score is a little bit lower, maybe that a strong transcript will compensate for that lower score in the GMAT or GRE. If you have a very strong GMAT or GRE, but your transcripts aren't like, top 5% of your class, then that GMAT or GRE might boost your application. So again, every individual is different, and we don't give averages or minimum. Also, a question that we get asked frequently is the executive assessment from GMAT acceptable? The answer is no. It has to be a GMAT or GRE score. This is what we ask in all our degree programs, and we need a score. Then we are going to request a letter of recommendation. This has to be from a professional source. I cannot stress this enough. Please do not send a letter of recommendation from a professor. We have your transcript. We already know how strong you are academically. We want a letter of recommendation from either your supervisor or somebody who has worked with you, has met you in a professional environment. If you're an entrepreneur, it could be a client, it could be a supplier, somebody who can speak to your professional skills and know your academic skills. Then we are going to ask for a letter of support from your dean or director from the MBA program. If you haven't started the MBA yet, then obviously this will be waived. But if you are currently enrolled in an MBA or you have recently graduated, we're going to request a letter of support. Please see that this is a letter of support and not so much a letter of recommendation. This letter should basically tell us if you've been a good citizen, a good ambassador of your school, and if the dean or director feels that you you're going to be representing well their school. And that's what we need. We don't need anything again related to academic performance, because we have all that information from your transcripts. Then we're going to be requesting, I believe it's 3 essays. They're short essays. And you shouldn't be expecting nothing really, you know, odd or very weird questions. We just want to get to know you better and your motivation for the program. Also your connection to the mission. So again, we think when we talk to prospective students, all they think is, how can I impress the admissions committee to get into the program, right? But this actually goes both ways. We also want to make sure that we are the best fit for you, right? This is a huge investment, not only in terms of resources and money, but also opportunity cost and time. So we actually want to understand that this is the right fit for you, and this is something that we're going to be looking at also in the essays. Then you have to pay a $95 application fee. And once you do that, you get a link from us that prompts you to some video questions. And I want to talk a little bit about the video questions, because this is something that creates a lot of anxiety and stress among some of our candidates. And honestly, you should not be stressed about this. And this is actually an additional piece of information for us. And I'm going to very quickly tell you what we're looking for here, which is not the right answer, perfect answer, or see how much research you've done in whatever question pops up and you have to answer. That is not what we're looking for. We're looking for 2 things. The first one is how you think on your feet, right? So you get the link, then you click on it, then you get a question, then it gives you like a minute or a minute and a half to think about your response, and then the camera goes on and you have another minute and a half to answer. So we're just going to be looking at how you think on your feet. Please do not put the question on ChatGPT and start reading the answer to us on camera. We can see that, and that is not going to help your application at all. So again, we're not looking for the right or wrong answer. We're looking for how you think on your feet. What is your reasoning like? You know, how do you kind of talk about a topic that you know, you might be familiar with or might not be familiar with, but you know, there's always things to say with common sense and common reason. The second thing we're going to be looking at is your level of English. As you can see, I am not a native speaker, and so for many of our students, that is the case. Matt was saying before that 98% hold an international passport. For some of those, English is the native language, but for most, like myself, it's not. So we don't request an English test, but the video questions will give us a sense of your level of English, spoken English, and that's also something that we're going to be assessing with the video questions. And that's all. There's no more hidden, you know, agenda with the video questions. Then we read and read and read applications. We meet in committee and decide which candidates we want to move forward to the interview phase. So we don't interview everybody. This is by invitation, and those of you who we believe are strong enough will move on to the next phase of the interview. Okay, so again, the process is apply, Zoom interview if you get invited, decision release, enrollment deadline, and then join us at Yale. I believe the dates are going to be here exactly. Okay, so we have some news this year, and it's that we have added an additional round of admissions, right? So now we're going to have a round on December 1st, which before it was the January deadline, right? So we used to have 3 rounds, January, February, March. Now we've added an additional one on December to give our candidates more time in general. Those coming from Global Network for Advanced Management schools and those coming from any global school around the world. The first round, December 1st, is reserved for Global Network for Advanced Management students, but the other 3 rounds are open to any candidates from around the world. We want to give candidates an earlier decision in rounds 1 and 2 so that they can plan accordingly and, moving to the US, going through the visa application process. It takes time. And also, wrapping up your jobs. And so we wanted to add an additional round to kind of help candidates who want to plan early to have the opportunity to get ready to come. So round 1, December 1st, round 2, January 12th, round 3, February 23rd, round 4, March 30th. When is the best round to apply? Is whenever you feel that you can submit your strongest application. That being said, if you come from countries where getting a visa to the US might be more challenging, like India, like some countries in Africa, I would strongly advise you to start working on your application rather sooner than later and avoid round 4. Because that doesn't leave you much time to then, process everything to get here on time for August. I also want to mention, and we got this question all the time, is like, are there benefits to global network students versus non-global network students? The only benefit is that they have the first round only for them. This is a courtesy that we have with our global network schools because we are partners in so many activities. And so it would be like an early admission for global network students. But that is the only thing. Rounds 2, 3, and 4, we're going to take the best and the brightest, regardless of the school they come from, GNAM or non-GNAM. So GNAM candidates will have no benefit over non-GNAM candidates. We're just going to be looking at the strength of the application. We also have spots available in every single round. So please don't feel that if you apply by round 4, there will be no spots available, because there will be. Same with the scholarships that I'm going to be talking in a minute. We're going to have funds in every round. We're not going to be running out of funds in the first rounds and then nothing left for the subsequent rounds. So again, whenever you feel you can submit your strongest application. So now the difficult slide, right? Affording your MAM. So yes, degrees in the United States, they're extremely expensive. And for many people around the world, this is like a price tag that is like incredible, like impossible, right? So, and I know that well, I'm not from the US, so I fully understand that this is a price tag that is close to impossible for many people. That being said, we do help our admitted students. So please do not let this be a reason for you not to even apply. Because if we really want you, we work with you to make the MAM possible. So the tuition for this year is over $85,000, and then the living expenses, which you have to prove to get a visa to come into the US. You have to prove that you have the funds to support yourself, is $32,000. So over $100,000 total is the cost of the program plus the living expenses. Again, a very, very, very expensive price tag for most people around the world. But again, we work with you. So we do have funding opportunities through 2 companies on international student loans that work with you in making this possible. We always also encourage students to find student loans in your home countries, right? Usually interest rates are better. So please look also in your home country. But then we also have 2 companies we work with. We have scholarships, 2 types of scholarships that I'm going to be talking about in a second. And then we have on-campus student employment opportunities. We have a website that our students have access to with employment on campus. And I believe you are eligible to work, I don't know how many hours a week. I don't know if it's 10 hours a week or a little bit more. But anyway, you are eligible to work on campus on a student visa. And that will help you a little bit, at least with your living expenses. It won't help you with your tuition, but it will help you with your living expenses. Now, let's get into scholarships. I know this is a big thing for most of you. So the first kind of scholarships that we have is merit. For merit, you don't have to submit any additional information, right? We are going to be assessing your application. We're going to be comparing you with a pool of candidates that are applying in the same round. And then when we release our decision, if you are admitted into the program and if you are eligible for any merit scholarship, that will be on your letter of admission, again, without having to submit any additional information. So merit scholarships range from $10,000 all the way to half tuition. That is the maximum that we give, around $45,000. That's the maximum amount of money that we give for merit. If after, and also no merit is also a possibility, so it is possible that you don't get any merit. Then after we release decisions and you know whether you've been granted any scholarship for merit or not, if you still have a gap, you can apply for need-aware scholarship. Usually we open up a form right after we release decisions. That form gets open for around 2 weeks. So be on the look for that form. And you have then to submit a lot of paperwork, right? Your financials, your tax, income, all that stuff. And that is sent to our financial aid office. They then assess your need, and they also look at the merit that you have potentially received, and they come back to you with a final award that includes merit plus need. And that obviously gets back to you before the enrollment deadline for the round you have applied, so that you can make an informed decision about whether to enroll or not based on the scholarship package that you have been granted. Something that I also want to say is that we do not give full rights. So please also plan accordingly, right? If you want to consider the MAN, start, making plans financially, with your companies, with your savings, with whatever sources of funding, because we do give scholarships and generous scholarships. I believe that the maximum that we've given is around $60,000. But there's still a gap that you will have to fill. So please do not apply to the program thinking that you're gonna get a full ride, because it's very, very rare. We have given some full rides, but it has to be somebody exceptional and coming from a very, from a country where it would be impossible to get any source. Okay, with that, we also want to direct you to our Admissions Unplugged podcast. This is a series of podcasts that we recorded last year. We're very proud of our podcast. We talk about all the parts of admissions. We have students, we have alumni, we have partners, we have our career department in one of the episodes. We believe it's a very complete series that will help you understand the program, the admission process, and also the experience that you would have at Yale SOM. So please, please, please listen to our podcast. And then we do have an upcoming event actually in only 3 days, which is a Q&A session with one of our colleagues in admissions. And this is an opportunity for you to connect via Zoom, but instead of like us talking to you like now in a webinar, it will be an interactive session with one of us. Basically, you can ask your questions live. There will be a few other students, not many, around 10, 15 students maximum in a Zoom call with one admission officer, answering all those questions that you might have about the admission process, about the program, anything you want to know about the program. And then if you have further questions that are personal, you don't want to be asking them live in a session, please write to us, advanced.management@yale.edu. That is our inbox. All of us are behind that inbox. So you will get an answer much faster than if you write to Matt or I directly. We are also behind this inbox. So please refer to this inbox if you want to ask any further questions. And with that, please feel free to submit any questions. Let me go to the Q&A and see if we already have some questions there. And I am also going to be addressing some of the questions that you pre-submitted.
And I can kind of take the first one here.
Okay.
So I'm seeing a question. If somebody has two masters, an MBA, if they have multiple degrees, would they still need to do GMAT or GRE? And the answer is yes. We do require it. It's something that's sort of a non-negotiable. There is no waiver for it. We do allow you to choose either or. And again, keep in mind, as Camino mentioned, that there is no minimum score that we're looking for. Obviously, the better you do, merit money and things like that definitely can come into play. But keep in mind that we are very much looking at it and looking at your grades. We want to see, all of your grades. And so we ask for all the different transcripts so that we can get a better feel. Maybe it was a bad day. We're also looking at your application very holistically, looking at your work experience, your extracurriculars. We're looking at everything to really get a sense of, what have you done? What are you hoping to do? How is Yale going to help you get there? And are you going to be able to handle the workload and the rigor of Yale's curriculum? So just keep that in mind as you're applying, and absolutely, if you have any questions regarding that, let us know. And I would definitely reach out to a few students as well. We have admissions ambassadors that are fantastic. Um, our current class, we're still, onboarding them and whatnot. Hopefully, we'll have some ambassadors for this upcoming year loaded soon. But on our website, you should still see this past year's ambassadors, and they're still more than happy to connect, answer questions, talk about their experience, and all of those sorts of things.
Okay, we have a question about somebody who has an MBA from University of the People. Can I continue at MAM? I'm not familiar with that MBA degree, but if it's an accredited MBA degree by ASCSB, AMBA or EQUIS, if it's an accredited degree from an accredited school, yes, you can absolutely continue for the MAM. It won't be round one, but you could apply rounds 2, 3, or 4. So I would, encourage you to get in touch with us, advanced management at Yale EDU. We will look into that MBA degree and then get back to you on whether we would accept that as the requisite, a prerequisite to apply for the MAM. Okay. Would there be any change in merit scholarship and to need-based scholarships for 2026 based on changes in macroeconomic conditions? Well, the change that will affect the scholarship is that the tuition will probably increase. And so we would probably also adjust our scholarships accordingly. When we say half tuition, then half tuition will be a little bit more than 45. But that's all that we're going to be adjusting. Like, usually we give half tuition or maximum for scholarships and a little bit above that for exceptional cases. And then we try also to optimize our budget as much as we can and help as many students as possible. So maybe a lot of students get a lower scholarship, but we try to help as many of our admitted students as possible rather than allocating all the money on a handful of students.
Yeah, I'm seeing a question here. Oh, sorry, were you done, Camino?
No, yeah, I'm done. Go ahead.
I'm seeing a question about the Career Center and the career resources, and if there's any difference between MBA, MAM, and all the different cohorts, and there really isn't a difference. I would say the difference that if you were to go talk with our CDO, the difference that they're going to say is the jobs that you might be looking for versus an MBA student or a GBS student are going to be different most likely. As this is a post MBA degree, you may have a bit more experience. This is an extra degree. So there may be some variables there, but in terms of everything they offer, it's completely equal opportunity. Anything that MBA students are doing, whether it's a networking event, maybe it's a social hour, interviewing, things like that, you are going to have the same access and opportunities to attend those, to use those resources, unless otherwise stated. But I can't think of an event that's been exclusive to a certain cohort during my time so far.
Can you take this question, Matt? Can a GNAM current student apply rounds 2, 3, and 4, or they can only apply in round 1?
So they can apply in rounds 1, 2, 3, or 4. GNAM students have that additional round at the beginning to kind of allow them as Camino mentioned, I think early access or sort of the opportunity to start planning their journey and adventure to New Haven a little bit sooner. And again, with visas and some of that stuff, it helps with that. But otherwise, GNAM students are allowed to apply in any round. And as Camino mentioned, and I do always just like to reiterate it, you have the opportunity to be admitted in any round. If you put together a great application and you're a great applicant, you have the opportunity to be admitted. That being said, keep in mind, if your application isn't up to par, let's say you're a GNAM student and you feel like, you know what, I could use a little bit more time to work on my application, apply in round 2 versus round 1. Take that extra time to improve your application, make it the best it can be. And then that way, you're hopefully going to be a little bit closer to guaranteeing that admission for yourself.
Thank you. There was a question about tax returns and how many years back. That is a question that should be addressed to financial aid. I really don't know what documents they require, but that is something that you can ask. If admitted, you can ask to our financial aid office. We also have a question here about a recent Poets and Quants article about Stanford's GSB program not being updated for AI-driven workspace, and what is the situation at Yale SOM? Well, the curriculum at Yale SOM that you will follow is the one you decide. So it's not an MBA, it's a Master of Advanced Management. So we are obviously updating everything for a world where IE is disrupting every single industry and every single business school as well, and we're in that process. But the beauty of this is that you are going to be building your curriculum. So with AI or without AI, you're going to be learning the things that you are missing, right? And you're going to be interacting with the students across programs and with top faculty from around the world. So it's not just what you're going to be learning in terms of content, but also the experiences, the backgrounds, the different global experiences from the people you're going to be surrounded with, and the networking and opportunities that you will have beyond the learning experience, which is what makes this pretty unique as well.
And I think to kind of add to that, and someone had asked about the STEM major and if they could take those classes without being in the major. And I think it kind of goes back to this past question. So one, the answer is yes, you can take those courses without being a management science major. And I think going back to that question, they are constantly looking at, how does technology, how does STEM, all those things play into business? And so they are definitely, always refreshing, always looking to the future, having those conversations, as I mentioned, with, the leaders that come and speak with our students, share their experiences working with AI technology, the global economy. But to that, you do not need to be a STEM designated student in order to take those courses. I definitely think if you're interested in some of those areas, but maybe want that extra flexibility in your curriculum, take the courses that you're super interested in and then go do the other stuff, because you do need to complete the full 16 unit credits in order to, complete the degree. So it's something, if you're interested in it, definitely take advantage of it. If not, you can kind of pick and choose those courses that you might want to take while not needing the major attached.
Thank you, Matt. Well, we're over time, and we want to be respectful of your time. It's 10:03 right now. So please feel free to write to us, Advanced Management at Yale EDU, if you want to have more personal questions answered, or join the Q&A session on August 15th, and we will be addressing any other questions. We have a last question I want to answer. Is there a limit on recent graduates in terms of years? I graduated from UNAM in 2020. I addressed that before. So basically, we have to see what you've done in this past 5 years to make sure that you have fresh the content of the MBA in order to apply to the MA. And write to us, and we will address that with you individually. Thank you, everybody, for your time today. We hope you have a good day, and hopefully we'll see some of your applications coming through for our MAM program. Thank you so much.